All right, so I want to talk about how to drive people to your open house when you're trying to sell a home. This week I had a real estate agent call me and he was a little frustrated. I guess he had done an open house over the weekend and it turned out all right, but the seller especially just wasn't too happy with that open house. And so he said, "Hey Bobby, what do you do when you do an open house? How do you get people there?" And so, I had to think about it a little bit, and then I realized there's a couple pretty good strategies that I've done that worked pretty well. Back in 2010, I started doing open houses, and then in 2011, I actually sat on a new home construction site and held those open houses continually through the year. And sometimes they're just, nobody came in, and then sometimes more people came in. And then I started thinking of ways and researching and reading of how to get people to those open houses. So one of the ways, and the ways that I told him, it's an economical way for real estate agents, is really you have a plan going in when you're listing the home, talking with the seller saying, "Hey, look, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this home listed on Friday, but we're not gonna open it to show all the way to the following Saturday. So we're gonna wait 7 days. And why we do that is in those 7 days, we're gonna market the heck out of that property. We're going to email every realtor in that area that works in that area. We're going to do a geographical farm with Facebook ads, maybe post it to Facebook groups, and just really be strategic with the marketing." And what's gonna happen, you're gonna have phone calls from real estate agents that have buyers, and they're gonna call you and they're gonna say, "Hey, what can we do to show that home?" And you say, "Hey, thank you for calling. We're actually gonna be doing an open house. We're holding off on showings till next Saturday between 11 and 2. Bring your buyer, or if you're unavailable, have them come in." And then you're also gonna be getting messages on Facebook, people inquiring about the property as well. How can we get in there? And you'll let them know, come Saturday, 11 to 3. And what that does is you're funneling, you're letting that marketing get some traction, give people enough time to realize and recognize that property is on the market, and then you're pushing them through this small window of time on that Saturday. So what that's going to do is that there's going to be heavier traffic there at one time, which will create a sense of urgency, and people will be like, "Well, I don't want to miss out. We need to get an offer in. Let's find out more about this property and get it done." So in doing this, I've had really good success. It's not too expensive. I mean, the most you're going to pay is probably for the Facebook, and maybe you do a little campaign where you're walking the neighborhood, sending out flyers, letting people know. But I've had it where actual buyers have come in for those open houses on 2 that I remember, and actually wrote an offer that night and submitted it. And so we did a dual agency where I was the real estate agent helping the seller, and we actually found a buyer specifically for that property, which is kind of rare. And the truth is, for the consumers watching, that a lot of times an agent will come in your home, and when you're trying to sell your home and you're interviewing agents, and they'll talk about doing an open house, or maybe you want them to do an open house. Well, the truth is that a lot of times it's kind of a win-win, but really that house is more of a lead generation for real estate agents when they do an open house, because it's very rare that when you have that open house that a buyer comes in and actually buys that home. So what you're doing, what those agents are doing, is having people come in, look at it, hoping that they buy that home. But they know chances are they're not, so they're asking for their information. What's your number, your email, your name? Are you looking to buy now? Are you pre-qualified with a lender? What kind of price? Are you looking in this neighborhood? And they're going to qualify those buyers and hopefully help those buyers. But most of the time they're not buying that home. But this has generated, for realtors watching, a dual agency, so you can double end it. And for sellers, it's actually getting a quick offer. So this is one tactic. If you're listing a home for somebody and you want to do an open house and get as many people there, especially if the seller's watching, to really drive that traffic through all at once, and you really get activity in that home and create that urgency. Hope that helps.